Hello everyone, and welcome to another beer review. Now, this was a slightly unplanned one because I actually filmed today's review previously. And for some strange reason, after editing it all, my computer system just wouldn't render it. It would get only so far and then it would basically fail. I don't know how many times I did it and I just kept on doing it. I thought, well, bugger it, what I'll do is I'll film another one quickly and put that up for today. So I thought, which one shall I do? And then somebody mentioned about Adnams Broadside, and I did say to them that I had a bottle and I was planning to review it, but I haven't got around to it yet. So I thought, well, bugger it, no time like the present. So there we go. So we've got Adnams Broadside. So it's commemorating the Battle of Sole Bay. It's supposed to be a strong original ale. It's 6.3%. The Battle of Sole Bay was in 1672. Not that I actually know that. I can just read it off the label. You know. Anything else that's on the back? 500ml. Trying to remember what it is. I'm sure this is below the £2 mark. And what does it say on it? A dark ruby red beer, rich in fruit, cake flavours, with wonderful balance of malt and hop flavours. There you go. Not too bad. I haven't done that many Adnams. I've drunk Adnams plenty of times, you know, Ghost Ship, all that kind of stuff. I did their English lager, and I think that was the last kind of real one I kind of did, apart from the kind of Ghost Ship ones and things like that. But that was the one I was actually looking forward to, thinking it was going to be a nice beer. And it wasn't. It was actually quite disappointing. And that's what's kind of put me off Adnams. Not that I don't think they can make a good beer. I think they can. I think the problem was that that one was just so off the mark that I just didn't want to kind of try anymore in case they were also off the mark as well. And even with that Broadside, I'm thinking, well, I mean, it sounds nice, but unfortunately, a lot of times when you read the label, well, especially from my experience, that what's on the label and what's in the bottle usually is two different things. And it's quite rare that what's actually written in the bottle is actually what you're going to get actually inside the bottle. And for me, that's a shame. That's not where we should be in this industry. But yeah, so I'm going to look kind of forward to this. But just as a quick caveat, I sent out a post today on YouTube, but I'll follow up again now. So people have requested that for the Christmas beers, we're going to do 5 kind of beers for kind of the winter and Christmas time. 5 kind of more kind of winter or Christmas beers. And I'm going to let you know which ones they are. So if you want to buy them and join me, and I'll basically let you know when I'm putting the videos up, so you can then try it for yourself when you're watching the review, and you can see if you're getting the same or whether this guy's just talking bollocks, you know. So the first one I've managed to get is a winter porter from Sainsbury's. So it's a winter porter from Sainsbury's. It's £1.95. So I'm going to basically make sure that they're all basically no more than £2. And if we can get them closer to the £1.50 mark, even better. But again, because it's more likely kind of winter beers, we know for that season, or a Christmas beer, they're less likely. So what I want to do is I don't want them to be going over the £2 mark. So that's the kind of limit. So I want to make them affordable as much as possible if people want to join in and buy the beers and see if they're getting the same type of flavours or they're getting something different. And obviously, once I've done the review and you've tried the beer after watching the review, feel free to comment to say, I'm not getting that, I got this, that, whatever, and let us know what you're getting. So it'll be interesting just to see what people are getting or not getting. So I'll obviously put more details about the Adnams Broadside in the beer facts below, as you know. So let's get cracked in and see what happens. Let's see if this is a good one. Couldn't believe that with that other blooming video. Well annoyed with that one. Let's pull this out and see what it's like. So 6.3%. I expect it to be quite malty, which of course is a good thing because I do like a bit of malt. Well, let's be totally honest, I like a lot of malt. There's a surprise coming from a Scotsman. Alright, that's what my bloody trousers are for. Anyway, bloody hell, that's me drag at the bottle. Right, for the people in the podcast, it is a kind of lighter ruby ale. It's not a particularly dark ruby ale, but yeah, it's a bit of a lighter ruby ale. Going from what I can see through the light. On camera I'm seeing it looks a lot darker coming from this side, but from my side, as I'm basically seeing the light shining through for the, you know, the video lights, then yes, it does look lighter than it probably really is. But yeah, if I look at it that way, yeah, it's kind of a dark one. But let's see what it smells like. Did I do a wee? There we go, that's marvellous. Oh yeah, straight away, getting malt. So we are. Also, for the people on the podcast, the head is about a 1 finger head. Actually quite nice and thick. But smell wise, getting malt, getting a little kind of fruity notes. Can't distinguish what the fruits are, but I'm getting slightly kind of fruity notes. But yeah, I'm getting mostly malt. Maybe a little hint of floral, a little hint. But again, not really getting hops at all. So it's definitely more of a malt forward beer. But you look at the colour of it, and it's probably going to tell you that as well. So let's see what it tastes like. Straight away, two things you notice. The richness. There is a richness to it. I mean, the maltiness is there without any question, but first thing you notice, it's a rich beer. A lot of complex flavours, a lot of nice flavours, obviously a lot of malt flavours within that. But what I do notice is that you can feel the malt kind of, how would you say, holding. Because the minute you start tasting that, you realise it's a higher alcohol beer. But the malt's kind of holding it back. But you are just getting some slight accents to let you know it's a slightly higher alcohol beer. But yeah, first impressions, very nice. Yeah, bags of flavour, some nice complex flavours, nice levels of malt. There is that kind of dried fruit edge coming through, quite prevalent. And yeah, even though it is a higher alcohol beer, although it's only 6.3%, you're feeling that the malt is kind of absorbing that to a certain degree. So it does give you slightly Christmas cake kind of edge to it, because with the dried fruit and with that slightly alcohol edge, because of course obviously people put brandy and things like that into their Christmas cakes, so there is that richness. I was going to say moistness, but I don't think you get any more moist than this anyway, but you know, the added tad flavour and obviously help with moisture and everything else, but there's like that feel to it. So yes, it does have that kind of slightly rich fruitcake edge to it. But yeah, it's quite nice. You're getting a little bit of bitterness in the aftertaste, and some of that's just that slightly molasses edge on the aftertaste, but the alcohol is also kind of adding that little bit of bitterness to it, and that's what you're doing. You're getting a slightly sharp bitter edge to the finish, which again makes it more interesting because there's a little level of sweetness there from front to back. Obviously when you're using that kind of level of malt, you are going to get some kind of sweetness retained in the beer. You're going to get that, so you need something to kind of offset that. Now of course you can do it with hops to try and get bitterness, or you can do it with roasted grains. See, roasted malts will give you certain flavours, So you will. But roasted grains will give you that slightly bitterness instead of roasted malts. And I must have some roasted grains in. It'll be interesting just to see, because that's what's slightly giving me that kind of slightly bitterness to it. So you can get a slight kind of bitterness to it, so you're getting a slightly molasses kind of edge to it. And yeah, it's actually quite nicely balanced. That is quite a rich one. I don't think I could probably drink that many of them, I'll be totally honest. It's one of these ones that less is more. So maybe a couple, you know, in one session, whether with other beers round about it or just back to back, that type of thing. It's not one of these ones that you're going to sit there and wire straight into. Not sessionable, definitely not. It's one of these ones that's going to be enjoyed and savoured and appreciate the complex flavours. So let's break down these flavours. Start off, you're getting the maltiness, so yeah, plenty of malt, a little bit of grain, but a lot of malt, and you're getting this little bit of sweetness. Again, not overly sweet. I've had beers like this that are a lot sweeter, and I think that's probably why this is a bit nicer, because it's not too sweet. It's got the malty flavour and it's got the sweetness, but it's not crazy. It's not over the top. Oh fuck, who's that bagger? Who's that bagger with his aster again? Jesus God. Damn you, I'm gonna shove that up his arse. What a vagina. He really is an absolute fucking vagina, so he is. Don't know if you can hear that, but seriously. Oh, I could shove a bottle right up with the sun don't shine, so I could. Awesome. Oh, Jesus God, seriously. He must be shit at parking because he needs fucking 15 fucking bites of that fucking cherry for a start. Jesus God, he's back and forward. You can hear him, and he's got to over rev it because his clutch control's shit. Unbelievable. I'm telling you, fucking pot liquor of the highest order. Jesus. Must be from farming stock. Because he always looks fucking manky. He always looks like he's fucking covered in shit. Anyway. He's finally found the fucking ignition key and turned it fucking off. Arsehole. Absolute fucking arsehole. But anyway, to get back to this, it's not overly sweet, which is quite nice, because sometimes it can be too sweet and they're quite strong, rich, malty flavours, and it just becomes overpowering and overbearing, but it's not with this one. Then it kind of moves on to the mid-tongue. And yeah, you're getting, yeah, as it moves on to the mid-tongue, you're getting some nice kind of dried fruit flavours coming through, which are quite nice. But also you're just getting, what I'm getting is you're getting some slight kind of background kind of hints of black cherry. And that's what you're getting, just slightly kind of dark cherry notes just in the kind of background. So you've got the little bit of malt. The malt kind of dissipates a little bit, but you've still got a heck of a lot of malt there, and it's very rich on the mid-tongue, very rich. And that's backed up with the kind of dried fruit flavours. And again, you still have that little bit of sweetness, but just behind it, just kind of, it's almost like adding a body to it, kind of like a supporting role to the body, just really kind of reinforcing it. It's like these little highlights of kind of dark cherry, and it just makes it really nice. So it does. Very nice. And then it moves on to the aftertaste. Now the aftertaste is, the flavours tend to kind of slightly come to a crescendo. So as they kind of move on to the kind of aftertaste, the cherry slightly becomes a bit more prominent, the fruit slightly becomes a little bit more prominent. Not for long though, but just for a little bit. The malt starts to kind of die down, so does the sweetness. And just as the malt and the sweetness starts to die down, that's where you start getting this kind of slightly kind of molasses bitter tones. So you are and the alcohol just slightly kind of tails off in that as well, and just kind of adds a little bit to it, and it just works really well. So the last kind of flavours you're getting are these kind of fruity flavours kind of dying down with just that little bit of bitter edge coming through just near the end. Doesn't linger. It's not like, you know, your sour citrus flavours that linger like buggery. It doesn't linger, but it's just enough just to kind of get the mouth watering again, ready for another sip. And overall, it's a very nice beer. But what would I give this out of 10? Well, if you know me, I'm going to give it quite a good score because, one, it's a perfect type of beer for this weather. Coming into winter now, the weather's starting to change. The grass has stopped growing, thank God. And yeah, it's just getting that kind of almost soup weather, as I call it. Ready to start basically making the soup. And you know, it's kind of cold, damp. You know, the clocks have changed, and yeah, you're just getting that, you know, dark mornings, dark evenings, and it's just the perfect kind of beer to sit down and enjoy an evening with. It's just perfect for this type of season. And I'm actually a bit disappointed because I could probably put this in my winter series, because I've got a winter stroke Christmas kind of series I'm going to do. And it would have been a good beer to put in for one of the 5, because we just, oh, like I said, we just bought the first one, which was a winter porter. I think I missed a trick here with this one. I think this has been a good one for that. And you can see it's still got nice lacing, it's nice and live, it's ticking all the boxes. But because it's plenty of malt, it's got a richness to it, good level of alcohol, a good, really traditional kind of English dark ale. I'm not going to say ruby ale because there's plenty of ruby ales that fall short, and this doesn't. I mean, there's bags of flavour, nice complex flavours. There's a nice balance to it. So yeah, what would I give this out of 10? For the price of it, because I think this is below £2 if I remember rightly when I bought it. I'm sure it's below £2. I'll put it obviously down below, and if it's wrong then I'm going to look like an arse, but it's not the first time. But yeah, what would I give this out of 10? Oh, just to cover my backside because I'm that much of a snake. If it's under £2, I'm going to give it a 7.5. If it's £2 and under, I'm going to give it a 7.5. If it's over £2, then I'll give it a 7. But if it's below £2 with the flavour profile and everything else, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10 because it deserves that. If it's over £2, then I'll knock half a point off just because it's just out that kind of golden zone, you know, up to £2. And I think that's fair because it is a nice beer. I would recommend it if you haven't had it before, and I can understand why other people enjoy it and get wired in quite regularly on it, or often, just in case we go down that route again. Jesus, I don't want that repeated. But yeah, 7.5 to 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye for now.